Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Caleb Motes back with another episode of the Caleb Motes Show. As you already know, we go through the Bible on Tuesdays, and today's Tuesday, so we're going through the book of First Corinthians. It's a big day today. Today, we're actually finishing off the book of First Corinthians. It's going to be going 13 through 16. That touches on everything. If you haven't seen the videos where we go through 1 through 12 yet, go back and watch them. They're all labeled First Corinthians Part 1, First Corinthians Part 2. So go ahead, watch those, watch this one, see what you get out of it. Anyway, with that being said, we're just going to jump right down into it. Today we're going to be starting off in First Corinthians 13. Now, Paul really starts it off. He keeps it real with you. So with that being said, I want to read a few chapters straight out of First Corinthians 13 to start off the book, or the chapter. And here we go. So it says, "If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing." So that's a pretty deep way to start off chapter 13. So with that being said, Paul's not only talking about like, oh, I love my girlfriend, I love my wife, love my husband, whatever that is. Paul's talking about the kind of love that you show for your neighbor, the kind of love that you show the other people in the church. That's what he's talking about. You need to be showing love to everyone. If you have all these spiritual gifts and you try and use them, but you don't have love for people, you have nothing. God gave you these spiritual gifts to help you show love to these people and bring these people into the church. Simple as that. If you don't have love towards these people, you're just throwing everything away. I was talking to one of my buddies this past week, and he's not really a Christian. Me and him don't have the same beliefs, and he was posting stuff about it. So I'm like, let's talk about it. And I got out of him that he's not posting this stuff against Christians. He's posting stuff against the Christians who act one way in church, but then treat him differently whenever he's around them. And that made me think, it's perfect that we're going through First Corinthians 13. He is someone who is lost. He's someone that doesn't know which way to go. So with that being said, it's kind of like, why aren't we as Christians showing him love, showing him the way? Why are we talking down on everyone, judging everyone? That's not our job. The Lord will judge in due time. Like, the term fake Christian is a big term, but it's real. It's out there. People go to church on Sundays and just hide behind religion to give them an excuse to hurt other people. That ain't it. It's not what you do. You live by this book and you have love towards everyone. Jesus didn't stop paying attention to you or hate you because you were a certain way. Jesus showed you love. Jesus had dinner with the tax collectors, went into their house, and they were the hated people. But Jesus went them and gathered them by talking to them and showing them love, showing them that they are welcome. So no matter how many spiritual gifts that you have, without love, you have nothing. Without being able to show that to people, you have nothing. The greatest gift and choice that you can have is to love your neighbor, love one another. You bring people into the church by welcoming them and loving them. You don't bring them in by hating them and talking trash on them. Plain and simple. That's really most of what he touches in 13. It's just love your neighbor, love everyone. So with that being said, 1 Corinthians 14, he's still talking about love. Pursue loving your neighbors and pursue your spiritual gifts. And you think about it. The one who prophesies brings up the church. The one who helps everybody brings up the church. That's great. And it takes a whole church to do it. It's not just one person, not just two people. It takes a whole church working together. We touched base on it last week. Everyone has different spiritual gifts. Some people may prophesy, some people may preach, some people may speak in tongues. But at the end of the day, it takes a whole team together. Like if you got the whole body and you cut off a foot, you can't walk. If you got the whole body and you cut off the head, can't do anything. So it takes a whole body to church body to really make a church go up and running, to reach out to the community. It doesn't just happen to everybody. It doesn't just happen. It takes a whole church body, everybody using their own spiritual gifts. When you go in there, we all have something that we need to do. We need to preach to everybody that Jesus died on that cross and Jesus raised again on the third day. He walked with us. He appeared to his 12 disciples and 500 other people. We preach that Jesus did that for us. We preach what is in this book. We preach the Bible to everybody. That is our job as Christians. We are already, we know we're saved. I know I'm saved. Christians out there, they know they're saved. That's great. It's our job to reach out to the world. It's our job to save the world. If you got a friend that's struggling, a brother that's struggling, anyone that's out there struggling that doesn't know what's in this book, it is our job to go tell them about it. It's our job to go preach to them. It's our job to go be with them. At the end of the day, we're going to die. We know where we're going. But think of how good it's going to feel if you die and you go to heaven and people come up to you and say, I'm only here because you took the time to talk to me. You took the time to show that love to me. You took the time to show me the way. How good is that going to feel? That's what we're fighting for. Because at the end of the day, our flesh and blood dies. No matter how many riches, no matter what you have on this earth, that dies. You don't take that to heaven. What you take is what you did for God's kingdom. You can be a pastor with the biggest church, but if you don't show love to this congregation, if you're preaching false things, you can have all these things, but you're going to die. The biggest businessmen in the world, they're eventually going to die. So it is our job to reach everybody so that when they die, they are welcomed in heaven and they have the riches stored up in heaven. That is our job. It really makes me think. At the end of the day, everybody dies. Not everybody goes to heaven. It's our job to help bring them to heaven. When we pray and praise the Lord, we do it with our mind and our spirit. We uplift ourselves. It makes us a different person. Then when we're around other people, they can tell that we're Christians. Someone that's not a believer should be able to tell that you're a Christian by the way that you are acting toward them. It is not our job to judge people. It's not our job to hurt people. It is our job to bring other people to God. At the end of the day, that's that. So with that being said, he touches on a lot of that in 1 Corinthians 14, and it goes into 1 Corinthians 15. I sort of put those two together because they're a continuation of the same thing. It even touches on it. It shows what pastors should do in their church, how pastors should run the church. He straight up says in here, you should not forbid tongues. Don't forbid people's spiritual gifts, but everything should be done in order and in decency. So it's just I honestly encourage you to read all of 1 Corinthians, but if you don't, read 13, 14, 15. Read these 3 chapters. Go through it. And it's honestly like a guidebook on how you should live, what you should be doing. It goes through it, almost holds your hand and walks you right through what you should be doing. So with that being said, I'm going to go into 1 Corinthians 16. Now this is the last chapter in Corinthians, and he really touches on when the people come, when the people do preach and you see it, help them, be there for them. Because believe it or not, they have a hard job. It's not easy to go out into the world and preach. It's not easy to go out and be hated. I think that was Paul. He got crucified. He was out preaching the word. He was talking to people, and they crucified him for it. We need to be out there helping these people, helping them do what they're supposed to do, helping them fulfill the Lord's calling on their life. And by us helping them, that opens up the door for us to do the same exact thing. Think about it right now. How many preachers are there that you can see on Instagram, that you can see talking about God? Whenever they do it, people have questions. It starts conversation. We can help them by even having those conversations with our friends, with the people that we do know. Sending them the videos, talking about the videos. That's how we can help them. Also, financially, give to these people. Because we don't have, their job is to go preach the gospel. That's what God's called them to do. They don't have a ton of money. They don't have a lot of stuff like that. So we can help them financially. We can make their lives better while they are doing what the Lord called them to do. You never know what kind of blessing you'll receive when you give a blessing to these people. And he ends it with, be strong, stand firm in the faith, stand tall, act like adults, act like men. Don't act like children. It's in 1 Corinthians where he says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child and I acted as a child, but when I became a man, I put those childish things away. We're Christians. We act like adults. We don't act of the world. We're held to a higher standard. So we need to act like we're held to a higher standard. We need to act so that it can be recognized by the world. I don't know about you, but I get really tired of being around people who just complain, who just talk about how trashy everything is, who just go on and on and on and on and on in that factor. Don't be that person. Be the person that's filled with joy. Be the person that is constantly bringing people up. Be the person that's great to be around. Because when you're like that, that's having the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Having the fruits of the Spirit, that's how people tell we're Christians. That's how people tell these things. So they see that we lift up a room. They see that we are lifted up ourselves. We're joyful. We're peaceful. We don't have all these issues. And when they see that, they ask why. What's different about that guy? What's different about that girl? And whenever they see that, they admire you. They admire what you have. They'll ask you about it. You can let them know. Even if they don't ask you about it, you can talk to them about it because they'll be open to it. They see that you are different. And whenever you're different, that's when that door's opened up. Whenever they recognize that, that's when that door's opened up. You never know what anyone's going through. So if you even stop to talk to people, it makes a huge difference in their life. Just being nice to someone makes a difference in their life. I mean, shoot, down here in Florida, people are always too busy, always angry, always mad about something. Be the person that's peaceful. Be the person that's happy. And be the person that helps save people's lives. Shows them what eternity is supposed to be. Show them what it could be and show them what it's going to be. But with that being said, that's the end of 1 Corinthians, period. Dang. Went through the whole book. Now, I'm going to go into 2 Corinthians. And I've been thinking about this joke for a while. So, something that the church in Corinth and we, as Americans, as people in the world as a whole, have in common, we don't like to listen the first time. Paul had to send 2 letters. And I don't think the church here, I don't think people here like to listen the first time either. So that's why there's 2 letters. Yeah, it's not funny. It's just kind of ironic. But anyway, with that being said, that's all I got today. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. Go tell someone about Jesus. Go go tell 1 million people about Jesus. Make sure these people see Jesus. Ever since Charlie Kirk got murdered, we've seen a revival in this nation. We've seen so many people hearing about Jesus for the first time. So they know what Jesus is. Now show them Jesus. Show them Jesus through your actions, through how you treat them. And that's all I got. So stay tuned. Thursday, got another episode of Solving the World's Problems with Caleb Moats. And anyway, I really hope y'all enjoyed this. Go tell someone about Jesus today. That's all I got. Peace.